Church, Kirsten wore a full robe to bed, okay? Do y'all hear me? Full robe to bed. I'm talking neck to ankles, covered up, closed at the waist, full robe to bed. Baby, tell the man he ain't getting none without telling the man he ain't getting none. I got my notes. I hope y'all got yours. Let's get on into this damn mess. Y'all, so let's jump right on in. Now listen, to my returning church members, baby, welcomes, and to all my new people, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and also to click that bell notification so you are notified every time I decide to upload a video. Now listen, my outfit today, baby, I'm serving you Wednesday Addams realness, okay, with this black lace going on. Have y'all caught Wednesday on Netflix? That is one of my favorite shows right now, and I don't even care that it's really like marketed to like children and young adults, okay? At 32, I still found value and fun in it. Like, once I learned how to do that little Wednesday dance, baby, I'm gonna do it too, but it's fine. Now listen, some quick housekeeping. Y'all gonna have to drop down in these comments, baby, and let me know whether or not this episode was shorter than normal, okay? Because y'all know I be having problems with my Sling TV, okay? The normal runtime of the show is supposed to be 2 hours, okay? And baby, when I was watching it today, at 1 hour, 30 minutes, it cut to the after show, okay? So I'm wondering, did I miss 30 minutes of the show, or was this episode just shorter than normal? So y'all drop down in the comments and let me know if y'all's was short too, and let me know at the end of the video whether or not I missed a segment because, you know, something got cut out, so we'll see. But anywho, y'all, let's get on into what happened with our couples. We're just going to jump right into our general couple updates. Listen, clearly nobody had sex, okay? But if we want to talk about the couple that really did not have sex, okay, tell me the couple that was the most not having sex. Honey, that was Kirsten and Shaquille. So we got to start. And baby, what we going to start with is, y'all know I got a flair for the dramatic, okay? So we going to start our damn review today with court, okay? So listen, y'all gonna have to pretend, baby, that this is a damn gavel, honey, because court is now in session, and this is the case of Kirsten versus being full of shit. Kirsten, your ass is full of shit. The Honorable Judge Dasher presiding, baby. Okay, now let's get on into it. So the wedding night come, okay? Kirsten walks into that room. No, we gotta take a step back. We gotta talk about the lack of a kiss first, okay? Kirsten, before the wedding, you told the people that you weren't going to let the man tongue kiss you, okay? Honorable, understandable, XYZ, okay? At the wedding, you turned your head away from the man, okay? After the wedding, you tell your bridesmaids that the reason why you turned your head away is because you wanted the man to ask you to kiss you, okay? And you said, even if he asked, the probability, you know, would have been higher if he had asked, but because he didn't, the kiss wasn't going to happen at all, okay? Now we get to the damn wedding night, and the man asks to kiss you, okay? And you still say no, okay? Girl, I don't know whether you are trying to convince us of your foolishness or whether you are trying to convince your damn self, okay? You just don't like the man, and that's why you don't want to kiss him, okay? This is not trying to like build a connection to get to know him better. No, girl, you just do not like the man and you don't want to kiss him, okay? And the thing that killed me, baby, is this. On the level of 0 to sex, a kiss is so mundane, baby, okay? You could have given that man a little closed mouth peck on the lips and you wouldn't have had to do nothing with that man till the damn honeymoon, okay? Listen, I done much worse stuff with my mouth. I feel some judgment coming through the screen, baby. I feel some judgment in this area right here, okay? But y'all don't judge me for my past, baby. I don't live there no more, even though I visit occasionally, okay? But I done much worse things with my mouth, baby, except the damn kiss, okay? So you could have given a man a nice little church kiss, hell, even a church hug, where, you know, the church hugs, baby, where you lean in, right? You give him a hug, but all your goodies and stuff is back here. So everything is back here, but you up here and you doing a kiss. You could have done that, okay? Kirsten, there is so much in terms of from 0 to sex that you could have literally placated this man. And the fact that you're not doing it speaks more to the fact that you just don't like him more than anything, okay? Now listen, if I could have gotten past the kiss, I then was inundated with the case of the damn robe, okay? Girl, I have never in my life, and y'all drop down in the comments and let me know if you have either, but I have never in my life seen somebody go to sleep in a full robe, okay? Hell, even Jasmine's ass had the damn decency to get a man a little peekaboo, little sarong short robe thing going on, okay? At least give him something to look forward to, baby. What's her name? Kirsten was covered up from neck to ankle, okay? And the thing that killed me, you covered up from neck to ankle and it's tied in the middle. Then you get in bed and pull the covers up to your neck. Girl, stop, okay? And that's the reason why you over here talking about, yeah, it was very comfortable to sleep next to Shaquille. Because, baby, nothing could have happened even if you wanted it to happen, baby, because there was so much damn material between the two of y'all, okay? I can't even. So listen. Order. In the case of damn Kirsten versus Shaquille and versus Kirsten being full of shit, girl, you is full of shit. And y'all drop down in the comments and let me know if y'all agree, okay? Because that was just a mess. Now, listen. Let's get into what this episode was really about, and it was really them sitting down with, you know, the family and the friends and having like the tough conversations, or like the conversations post the wedding day, right? So in terms of the family conversations with Kirsten and Shaquille, he sat down with her family and they basically told him to make her comfortable and she'll open up to you. There is not enough comfortability in the continental United States nor the world to make this lady open up to you, okay? I said this from the beginning. If she can get past her damn conception of what she wanted in a husband and find out that your fringe benefits make you a good catch for her, then this match could potentially work, right? But if she can't get past this, y'all just need to worry about being friends and keep it moving with that for this damn process. And in terms of her, when she sat down with his family, they were basically just supportive. I think Shaquille's family was just very supportive and very nice. They didn't seem to want to ruffle feathers. They really didn't seem to talk much of anything to my recollection, right? And isn't it funny that she really took control of that situation? Honey, I don't even know if maybe they didn't have enough footage to show of Kirsten sitting down with Shaq's family, but it was a very, very short segment, okay? And not much was really discussed, and 90% of the talking was done by Kirsten. So I don't know if this is her trying to get ahead of, you know, you got to fill the silence so they can't ask you the question that you don't really want to answer right now, or whether or not there wasn't just, you know, much pushback or many questions on their end. So I thought that was strange. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know if y'all think that she controlled that whole narrative of when she sat down with Shaq's parents, or his family members rather. Now let's get on into this honeymoon delay. I swear, Shaq can't win for losing, okay? If you think about it, the man cannot win for losing, okay? You already have the attraction against you. You already have her conception of what she wants in a husband against you. And then to add the damn cherry to the disaster sundae, you tell the lady that there's going to be a delay in going to the damn honeymoon, okay? I was like, no, Shaq, no. In the eternal words of Tyra Banks, baby, we was all rooting for you, okay? Because maybe the honeymoon could make some like sort of loving feelings come out of this lady, even though I don't think she got it in her, right? So Shaq say that he's in school right now, and I guess part of the end process of his education is he has to give a presentation at this research conference, right? So he told the lady that we're not going to Jamaica because that's where they're going this season for the honeymoon. So they're going to Jamaica. We're not going to Jamaica on the first day, right? We're going to miss one day with the couples because I got to go present my damn dissertation or whatever down to this research conference, right? Now listen. Either way this is sliced, it's a bad situation, okay? Like, and I think he basically did the lesser of two evils if you think about it, all right? Now listen. If he takes her to the research conference with him, yes, they're together, but she gonna be looking at him funny because she's missing a day in Jamaica in terms of, you know, what the other couples are doing and having fun on the beach and XYZ, right? If he went to the research conference and then let her go to Jamaica without him, then basically she gonna be sitting there mad because everybody else got their husband here except for her, right? So the lesser of two evils was for her to go with him, which I understand. So listen, whether even if it's not Jamaica, at least y'all are together, and maybe seeing him in his element will make those fringe benefits look a bit more appealing. I don't know, but it just does not seem like luck or grace or, I don't know, prosperity in this relationship is on Shaq's side to begin with, because everything just keeps happening to put him kind of in a detriment in terms of winning her love or making some sort of emotion coming out that lady. But listen, I done spent too much time on these two, so let's move on to my favorite couple, Teef and the Gordon's Fisherman, aka Gina and Clint. Now listen, in terms of the fam, so he sat down with her family and they said that, y'all need to learn how to make time for each other given your careers, right? And I'm kind of double-minded on this, right? Because in a way, yeah, you need to make time for each other, but it's kind of good that y'all have that commonality in terms of both being business people. Sometimes it's hard to be in a relationship where one person is super business and one person is like, laissez-faire, bohemian XYZ, because, you can kind of feel like one person is always waiting around for the other, right? So because y'all are both busy, I think that's kind of the best of both worlds. And listen, if y'all are both business people to begin with anyway, y'all should know how to budget your time and make time for each other if that's what you want to do. So I didn't really see that as a problem. I just saw it as something that y'all will find a way through. So Gina's family says that Gina and Clint are the same person. That was interesting. I thought that was an interesting point. Maybe it'll be a conversation of whether, the likeness that they have between the two of them draws them together or repels them away from each other. So I thought that was a bit of foreshadowing. And then when she sat down with his family, they basically really just talked about attraction. She basically said he was hot. Now, the interesting thing here and what I want y'all to pay attention to is that they kind of have started dropping the seeds of this whole conversation of attraction between the two of them early on, right? And so my question to y'all is, we saw last week in terms of the preview that Clint is going to say something effed up regarding Gina's natural body and stuff. And so we also saw in the previews for, I guess, the next episode in the honeymoon that Gina is basically going to say, she's not really attracted to redheads, XYZ. And when she was sitting down with his family, she said she doesn't normally go for ginger-haired men or whatever, but, he's hot and whatever. And so my question to y'all is, who drew first blood in terms of the attraction conversation, right? Because y'all remember last week, I was all ready to condemn Clint for coming for our girl Teef, okay? Coming for our girl Gina. But it kind of skews the conversation when we talk about who drew first blood. It doesn't make the conversation right in terms of him coming for her, looks in terms of her natural body, or her coming for his looks in terms of his ginger hair. But I think context makes a much more determining factor when you find out who drew first blood, because it's much more understandable. Because if you drew first blood and you start to talk about, this man is not your type and you're trying to get over this and XYZ, and then he returns, the serve even harder than before, it doesn't make it right, but it's kind of understandable given the position that you kind of put him in terms of the attractiveness conversation. So we'll see. And y'all drop down in the comments, because I thought all was peaches and cream for them, but apparently attraction is going to be a problem on both sides. So let's move on to Nicole and Chris, who, listen, I love Gina and Clint, but Nicole and Chris, y'all are actually turning out to be, runners up or maybe third place for my favorite couples, especially when, what's her name? Nicole was telling this story about this cigarette thing, which we'll get to. Now, Nicole and Chris sat down with each other's families. And so when he sat down with hers, they basically started grilling him, told him that he could be a serial killer in the confession in terms of the dad. And it's the whole catch-22 situation. Listen, quiet as it's kept, baby. Nicole's father and Airris's cousin, they need to get together, okay? Y'all need to get together and just create a separate team called the hating team, because that's all y'all doing is just hating. These couples already have so much against them in terms of the process. Y'all are going on reality TV. Y'all are going into an arranged marriage. Y'all don't know each other going on in. Y'all are trying to figure out each other in 8 weeks to decide if you're going to stay married or get a damn divorce. What you don't need is the parents throwing salt into the game in terms of an additional obstacle to overcome, okay? I understand that you want the best for your children and you want them to have the best in life, but I really feel like even if you're not 100% gung-ho on the process, at least you can support from afar, and you can make your standpoint known without making it seem so combative, right? And what I really didn't like about Nicole's father grilling Chris is that it just seemed very combative. It seemed like no matter what the man said, you were going to feel some certain way about it. So that's why I said catch 22, because no matter, the way that the cake is sliced, you're not going to like the man. You're not going to support this process. And listen, quiet as it's kept, your anger shouldn't be with Chris, really. Your disappointment should be in your daughter because she signed herself up for this process. If so facto, therefore as such, baby. This is misplaced anger 101, right? Now listen, she sits down with his family, and his family tells her that he may make you his focus, and he may take it hard and badly if the relationship doesn't end well. I think that that's a lot to put on that lady. Like last week, I was like, go into it with the best intentions. And, if you don't intend to hurt somebody going in, then you're probably going to get that result on the way out, right? Go into it with the best intentions. But it's a lot to put on this lady that just met this man that, his whole personality, his whole demeanor, his whole outlook on women and future relationships is kind of dependent on what happens in the situation with you. That's a lot of pressure to put on someone. And listen, it seems to me like, Chris needs to do more in terms of working on himself so that his outlook on relationships, his personality, his demeanor, his XYZ is not so dependent on an external force in terms of Nicole's actions, right? Like you have to be whole within yourself before you get with somebody else, because nobody completes you, okay? You complete yourself, right? Someone should add to your life and add some additional component that wasn't there, but you have to be whole in yourself. And the kind of, context I was getting from that conversation is that he's a little bit emotionally inclined to kind of go with the flow depending on what someone else does. And that's a kind of a dangerous thing to put on somebody, especially when they're just getting to know them. But where they won me over, baby, is this damn cigarette burn story. So let's talk about this because there are just so many layers to this conversation, right? So Nicole is talking to Chris in the bed, and she basically says that in her past relationship, she was showing him, her arm or whatever, and she said, this is a cigarette burn, and the man burned me, and he basically said, if you love me, you will let me burn you, right? And so she let him burn her, right? And listen, first and foremost, baby, I do not condone any parts of domestic violence. Listen, I tell all my damn, suitors and whatever, I don't do domestic violence, okay? The first time you hit me is the last time you hit me, and I don't make any damn, qualifications, whether it's a cigarette, whether it's something that you pick up and throw at me, whether it's, you taking your hand and smacking me or whatever, it's all a form of abuse in terms of physical abuse, and I don't play with none of it, right? So I think that, sometimes you can end up in very toxic situations, and it's really sounding like that situation with Nicole and her ex was very toxic, right? Because what's the underlying message of that, right? If you love me, you will let me hurt you, right? And listen, love is giving someone the ammunition to hurt you and trusting that they won't, but it's not literally giving someone the physical ammunition in terms of a cigarette to place on your skin and inflict pain on you. That's some level of control that's very dark, and it's very on the negative side of a relationship, right? So I think even though Chris can be a lot emotionally in terms of being Mr. Nice Guy, I think that given her past, she really could use a break from the toxicity of her past relationships. And I hope that he can bring that to her, and she can kind of, be what he needs apart from being his whole source of emotional stability, right? Now let's move on to Jasmine and Airris. And so when he sat down with her family, they basically talked about merging lives and being open to sharing given his only child status. And listen, y'all, I come from a family where I have a brother, right? And so the thing about it is I understand that when you don't have a sibling, you don't really learn in terms of sharing and compromise and stuff like that. You really have to, I guess, do that with your friends. But quiet as it's kept, having a sibling is not really all it's cracked up to be. Like, if you think about it in terms of emotional development or whatever, like, me and my brother, we are 6 years apart, all right? And so whatever stage of life that I was in, he was in the complete opposite stage of it, right? So there was never really any commonality there. And, though I did have to learn how to compromise and get along and stuff like that, I don't really think that an only child is at such a severe level of detriment in terms of that. Because listen, I barely learned it because I told you we're in different stages of life. 6 years is such a huge amount of time between siblings. And sometimes with siblings, it doesn't matter how far in terms of years you are, you're going to be close. And with other ones, like, the distance is lifetimes, right? So I think he'll be fine in terms of learning how to merge lives and being open to sharing. But I thought that was an interesting conversation. So y'all drop down in the comments and let me know what you think. Do you think being an only child puts you at a detriment in terms of learning how to share and compromise in a relationship versus if you had a sibling that you learned that with, early on in life? So interesting conversation. And when she sat down with his family, it seemed like that damn cousin ruled the damn conversation. And she basically said, why did you sign up for Married at First Sight? And she was talking about her pageant answers. The same thing with Nicole's daddy, okay? It's the catch-22. If the lady is eloquent, then she's giving pageant answers. If she fumbles her damn words, then she's a schemer, she's a scam artist, and you don't like her. Y'all, I'm going to say something. I'm just going to leave it out there. But I understand being protective of your family and wanting the best for them. But I can't even believe I'm about to say this. Do y'all think that the cousin wants Airris in some way? Okay, and I feel bad. Allegedly. It's just seeming like her dislike for this lady is so deep, given that she don't even know her that well, okay? And I'm like, girl, is you trying to date Airris? Like, what's going on? Is anybody going to be good enough? And the same thing I said with Nicole's dad. Like, your anger is misplaced, okay? If you are going to be mad at anybody, baby, be mad at Airris for signing up and putting himself in this damn position, okay? Your anger is not with Jasmine, it's with Airris, okay? And I think that this whole thing of she's just so rehearsed. Okay, the girl can think quickly on her feet, baby. That's a critical thinking skill. You gonna condemn her for that? It's just too much. So listen, I'm not trying to talk about no damn, inbreeding and stuff like that, but it just seems like her attachment to her cousin, and God knows I love my cousins, okay, but I'm not going to jeopardize their, chance at happiness with my damn, naysaying ways, right? I'm going to state my intentions, state my perspective, and wish y'all the best from afar, right? I'm going to hope it works out, even though I'm metering my expectations on the back end. And it just seems like that cousin, she just be taking it too far. So y'all drop down in the comments and let me know if you think something else is at hand. Hell, Nashville is close to the South, baby, and they do that kind of stuff down there. But I'm not calling it over to anybody, and baby, I'm not trying to get sued, because y'all know all I got is this damn greenery wall behind me, baby. Don't sue me because I ain't got nothing. And now let's move on to Domynique and Mackinley, baby. And so in terms of the family conversation, baby, listen, Mackinley can't win for losing either, okay? Because every time he sit down, he got an angry black woman in his face. Last time it was the mama and the grandmother. This time it's the mama, the grandmother, and I'm guessing an aunt or some other family member or whatever the case may be. So they sit down with Mackinley and they grilling him on his interracial relationship history. And he basically says, he dated white and Latino women in the past. He's gone out with black women, but they basically didn't have any return love for him. And, I kind of found that strange because, if you date interracially, eventually, you end up getting linked up with like-minded people that are on the same wavelength, right? And it seemed weird that he dated black women, but the black women that he dated never had return love for him. Y'all, one of my favorite comedians is Gary Owens. And Gary Owens talks a lot about, interracial relationships because, he loves black women and that's what he's primarily attracted to. And he basically said when he was in school, he went with who was attracted to him. Like he said, screw who I like, I go with who likes me. Okay. And black women were like attracted to him, I guess, based on his demeanor and the way he carried himself. Right. So I kind of wonder about that whole situation where if you've dated primarily white and Latino women, right. And you've tried to date black women, but all the black women that you've dated, there was no return love. What was the reason behind that, right? Like, what's the subtext to the conversation? What did maybe you do? What did maybe they do? Because listen, one of my favorite sayings, baby, and I say this all the time, 1 time is a fluke, 2 is a pattern, and by 5, it's a lifestyle, right? So if all the black women that you dated never had any return love for you, there is some sort of component missing to the story in terms of why that is, right? So I'm curious to know that. But I think that, Domynique's family is doing a good job in terms of this kind of race conversation and trying to make sure that Mackinley is able to stick up for their girl the way she needs to be stuck up for, right? So, kudos to the mama, the grandmother, and I think the aunt or the other family member. Now, in terms of her sitting down with Mackinley's family, y'all, I just don't like that mama. I don't like that mama because she's standoffish for no reason, okay? I don't get it. You can have a conversation with somebody without skewing the whole emotional response to the conversation in terms of, she was sitting down with the girl, I think this whole thing is crazy and stuff. And the thing about it is, I think that, Mackinley's other family members, in terms of the other 2 girls that was there, they kind of took their, the emotional tone of the conversation based on what the mama was saying, right? So even though they were laughing and joking with Domynique at times, it seemed like once the mama said whatever she was going to say, it took the whole conversation down, right? So she's kind of like a Debbie Downer. And so they could really only, talk about some light conversation topics because you can't really converse with a brick wall. If someone is committed to misunderstanding you, there's not really much commonality or much conversation that you can have. And, it didn't really do her any favors when they asked a lady whether or not eventually one day she'd be willing to move back to Michigan. And the lady basically said, she don't know about that. She'd have to think about it. Listen, they live in Nashville right now. Don't nobody want to move to Michigan when their whole family and support system is in the city that they're currently in, right? So I think it was an unfair question to begin with, but it just seems like additional ammunition for you not to like this girl. But y'all, I really think that's all I wanted to talk about on this episode. So if you liked what I said, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all social media at DatDamnDasher. And until next time, y'all, bring on this Jamaican honeymoon. And listen, my messy side still wants to see what's going to happen when Kirsten sees Jasmine's husband, Airris. Okay, I'm not trying to start nothing. My messy side just needs some excitement. But I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.